Hey everybody, welcome back to Canada's Boxing Channel. So, I was just going to talk about the February 22nd card and put my picks. But there's one more thing I want to say about the Tyson Fury retirement. I've seen so many YouTube videos now, and I've read a few articles that are kind of eulogizing Fury as being the best British boxer, second best British boxer ever, kind of nonsense. And the BBC listed his achievements with ending like, what a career. All this sort of nonsense. I have some numbers. 5 retirements as our friend Tyson done. 5 times he's retired. He's beaten 4 champions. Deontay Wilder twice, Klitschko, and Steve Cunningham, who had been a cruiserweight champion. So 5 retirements, 4 champions beaten. 3, at least, ducks. Complete quacks. He ducked AJ. Irrefutable. Ducked AJ. Ducked Ortiz, and he ducked David Price back in the day. Saying there wasn't enough money or, whatever nonsense there was at that time. So, 5 retirements, 4 champions beaten, 3, at least, quacks. 2 times there were issues about a drug test. So 5, 4, 3, 2. What does that really end up with? It means 1 kind of mediocre CV that is nowhere close to being the best of his era, the best British heavyweight, the best at what? The best at making money. I'll give him that. He's made a potload of money. Good for you. Now, hopefully that's the last time I or anybody else will have need to talk about that man. But so let's talk about the February 22nd card. I won't get into huge detail. I'm basically just going to put my picks, what I'm going to bet on to help my bookie's private education fund, and we'll see where that lies. So, got my notes handy. Buatsi and Smith. This is for the WBO Interim Light Heavyweight Championship. Buatsi's going off at 1.53, Smith at 2.60. These are decimal odds. There's lots of places around the world that calculate odds differently, fractional or American. I like to stick with decimal. 1.53 means you put a buck on and he wins, you get a $1.53. So, Smith's got ability. There's no doubt about it. My question is, does Smith still have that desire? Does he still have it? We're going to find out. He's got power. There's no doubt about that. In my view, Buatsi has the edge. So in this case, Buatsi and Smith, I'm going to bet on the favorite. Then we've got Zhilei Zhang and Ajit Kabayel. I've given a separate sort of prediction on a previous video. Zhang is going off at 220. Kabayel, 1.73. This is for the WBC interim heavyweight title. I'm going to stick with my prediction. If Kabayel can keep out of Zhang's way for the first 5 or 6 rounds, I think Kabayel will simply gas out Zhang late. I think most people would go for a Kabayel points win. As I said in a previous video, I wouldn't be surprised if Zhang is so exhausted that Kabayel is able to stop him in the later rounds. But regardless, I've got Ajit Kabayel as the winner here. I think it's going to be a good fight. I like both fighters. I think that they're not often given the recognition they should be, neither from the Anglosphere. I like them both. I think Kabayel's got this, so I'm going to bet on Ajit Kabayel. So 2 favorites in a row for me. Then Shakur Stevenson and Floyd Schofield. There's a bit of needle in this. I don't think these guys like each other. No, that doesn't, often that's fabricated. But I think these guys actually just generally, they're not big fans of each other. Let me see. I'm going to go to the betting page here. Shakur Stevenson, strongly favored, of course, going off at 1.11, and Floyd Schofield is going off at 7.0. Lots of knockouts between these guys. Shakur Stevenson 22-0 with 10 KOs. Schofield 18-0 with 12 KOs. This is, of course, for the World Lightweight Championship. Now, not taking a thing away from the skills of Shakur Stevenson, I find him really boring to watch. So I would like Floyd Schofield to win. I don't think he will. I don't think he's going to be able to actually land much on Shakur Stevenson, who's like I say, he's a kind of boring southpaw, but he's very, very, very skilled. This would be the time to go and make a cup of coffee. Anything else you need to do, just I'm not super excited about this one. And in fact, I haven't decided yet as to where I want to put my money on this. I mean, going off at 1.11, it's almost like not worth betting. I'm going to take a flutter on Floyd Schofield and really keep my fingers crossed, and I won't be betting next month's rent or that kind of thing. But I might be surprised. It might turn out to be a really, really good fight. But for me, that's possibly the least interesting fight on the card. Not taking a thing away, and so fans of either fighter, please don't complain. Now we're moving on to Khamzat Shiraz. Let's see what he's going off at. He's against Carlo Adames. Khamzat Shiraz, not surprisingly, is the favorite, 1.47. Carlos Adames at 2.75. Let me see. What I wrote here is Khamzat Shiraz, I view him as the golden calf of the Frank Warren stable. He's a Riyadh season worldwide ambassador. He's got 21-0 with 17 KOs. Adames no slouch, 24-1 with 18 KOs. It's for the World Middleweight Championship. Shiraz just doesn't look like he can be a middleweight. I mean, I think Shiraz one day is going to be a light heavyweight at least. But for February the 22nd, I think Shiraz has got it. So I'm going to bet on Shiraz, the third favorite that I've bet on. Then we got Virgil Ortiz and Israel Madmurdov. Let me see. Ortiz, 22-0 with 21 KOs. Madmurdov, 10-1-1 with 7 KOs. It's for the interim welterweight title. Wow, Ortiz is a killer, right? He's a dangerous cat. But so is Madrimov. I think this could be the fight of the night in some ways. And I don't think this fight's going to go the distance. Ortiz, I would have thought he would have been more heavily favored than he is. He's going off at 1.83. Madrimov is at 2.0. All I can say is, if you didn't make your coffee during the Shakur Stevenson match, don't make it in this fight. This one is going to be one to watch. I'm going to put some money on Madrimov. I just got a sneaky feeling about this. Next one up is Daniel Dubois against Joseph Parker. Let's see. The betting odds favor Dubois 1.44, Parker at 2.9. Interestingly, I might be wrong on this, but from my memory, this is the first time a heavyweight championship has been on the undercard to a main event. Unless somebody can think of another occasion, I think this is the first time round. So DD, the Brazilian steak-eating man, is favoured. He's obviously got tremendous power. And he closes the distance well. He's had a good run. Big Baby Miller, Hrgovic, and AJ. But Parker's different. Parker's cagey. Parker's not old, but he's a vet. He's been around a long time. He's got a really good chin, though I'm not sure if anyone's chin is going to take a full flush hit from Dubois. But clearly, I mean, as I may have said in other videos, I would like Parker to win, but that's because, like, I found Dubois to be... I didn't like what Dubois did when he got into the ring and stole Usyk's sort of moment of glory. I think Dubois also has shown that he's got resiliency issues when things are not going his way. I like the way that Parker conducts himself. Parker's also had some good wins. He's, like the comeback kid of boxing in a way. I'm going to go with Parker. I am definitely going to go against the flow here. Most people will be predicting Daniel Dubois, probably in about 5 or 6 rounds, I would imagine. And I think that's based off the beating that he delivered to AJ. But Parker is a different guy. And I think that Dubois may have been overlooking him, even though Don Charles will be focusing him like, stay focused. I don't know. I'm going to put my money on Parker, and we'll see where this is. It's going to be a good fight, though. There's no doubt about it. I think either man could win this. I'm just going with Parker because of personal preference. So, and then to round it all out, we've got the rematch between Beterbiev and Bivol. Beterbiev is favored at 1.83 and Bivol at 2.10. I mean, we all remember Beterbiev won a very close first fight. It could have gone either way, to be honest. I think for me, I like a slightly more aggressive fighter, and I think Beterbiev did most of the last 6 minutes or so was Beterbiev, and I think that's probably what sort of moved him into top spot over Bivol. Bivol's a master technician. The skeptic, or the cynic in me rather, thinks that Bivol will win this. So then there's a trilogy. My brain doesn't tell me that, but my gut's telling me that. My brain tells me that Beterbiev will repeat and he will beat Bivol, possibly more convincingly. But my gut tells me Bivol may do enough to edge this and set up a trilogy. So I'm going to put money. I'm going to put money on Bivol, and see where it is. So this is a totally last-minute decision. I've already written down who I was betting on, but I've changed my mind live, as it were. It's interesting on Beterbiev and Bivol. Clearly, I think we all recognize them as the two top guys in their division. But I was listening to an interview of Mr. Colin Hart, Colin Hart's certainly probably in his 80s, still very sharp and very knowledgeable boxing commentator and journalist, rather. And he thinks that Beterbiev and Bivol, their names would not be out of place alongside the names like Bob Foster and, Archie Moore. That's great praise indeed. These are two guys who are, they're ATGs in that division for sure. I think it's going to be a masterful fight. It might lack some of the excitement that the casuals will get out of, a bigger punching sort of, Ortiz-Madrimov fight. But I think for those who really enjoy the science behind boxing, it's going to be just a real feast. So I guess I've committed to betting on Bivol. Yikes. Okay, well, anyhow, that's all I got for today. So please hit like, share, and subscribe. I would love to have more likes and subscribers. That would be awesome. Thank you in advance. And wherever you are in the world, have an awesome day. Thanks a lot. Cheers.